This is a deep dive podcast covering articles published on Ecogate's blog, brought to you by Ecogate, the leader in on-demand dust collection.
Dust collection in one day, but it wipes blowing cash away. Dust collection from tactical sticky, where's the elbow low and cost so great and no more till your elbow into cash though. Saving thousands and only thousands. With Ecogate you watch your savings grow.
All right, so green building, we all know about that, right? But have you ever thought about what green woodworking might look like?
Green woodworking. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's what today's deep dive is all about.
Okay, love it. Let's dive in.
We're looking at Fetzer Woodworking. It's a family business, been around for ages, and they figured out a really cool way to make their dust collection system way more efficient, which is good for the planet and, turns out, great for their bottom line too.
And that's what makes this story so interesting. It's not just about woodworking. It's about how making a few smart choices, sustainable choices, can have a huge impact on a whole business.
Yeah, totally. And get this, their old system. It ran literally 24/7.
Wow.
Talk about sucking up power and money.
It's one thing to be inefficient, but it sounds like they were really hitting their limits too. Like the system couldn't even keep up with how much they were growing.
Exactly. I mean, imagine you're working with these huge pieces of wood, dust flying everywhere.
Yeah, you've got to have something powerful to handle that.
And Fetzer, they've been around since 1909. That's over a century of craftsmanship. They've done work for everyone. Big-name retail stores, restaurants, even airports.
High-end woodworking, that's their thing. But you're right, they had this dust problem.
It's the nature of the beast, right? You work with wood, you get dust. They had these traditional dust collectors, but they just ran constantly.
Yeah.
Even if just one saw was going, the whole system was chugging away.
Just a huge drain on energy and money, like leaving your car running all day when you're just running into the store for a few minutes.
Exactly. So they knew there had to be a better way. That's where Ecogate comes in.
Ecogate, yeah, I know them. They actually saw them at a trade show back in 2004, but the timing wasn't right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't until they decided to expand, get a second building, that things kind of came to a head.
So that's the turning point.
Yeah, they realized they were either going to have to move their entire operation or figure out something more efficient. And that's when that second building really brought the issue to light. They needed a massive, like 90 horsepower motor just for the dust collection in that new space.
Wow. Just for dust collection, that's wild.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that's when they circled back to Ecogate.
That set and forget it system was looking pretty good at that point, huh?
Exactly. And it turned out to be a really smart move. Ecogate came in, analyzed their whole setup, figured out how much airflow each machine actually needed, and boom, way less energy used overall.
So what did they do? Just bite the bullet and make the investment?
Well, they got a little creative. They actually sold that second building to finance the Ecogate system.
Wow, talk about putting your money where your mouth is. So did it work?
Like night and day. Within a week, their energy use was down 70%. That translated to about $10,000 in savings every month.
$10,000 a month? That's wild. It's like having another employee, but they don't need any coffee breaks.
Yeah, right. And it's not just about the cost savings. Their product quality actually went up too.
Really?
Yeah, because they were getting the right amount of suction consistently, before it was all kind of manual adjustments. And that could be a little hit or miss.
Makes sense. So it freed up their time and their energy bills, and A&D made their product better.
Exactly. And here's the thing. It's been over 15 years since they made the switch to Ecogate.
Wow, and they're still using it.
Still going strong. In fact, they've actually expanded their shop since then, added even more machines and the system. It's handled everything they've thrown at it.
That's really impressive. I mean, it goes to show going sustainable, it's not just good for the planet, it can be great for business too.
100%. And that's something people don't always get. It's not about sacrificing profits. It's about finding smarter ways to do what you're already doing.
Smarter and greener. So I got to ask, what can our listeners take away from all this? I mean, not all of us are running woodworking shops, but there's got to be a lesson here for everyone, right?
Absolutely. Think about your own projects, whether it's at home or for work. Are there places where you're being wasteful? Could you be doing things more efficiently? Maybe there's a simple solution out there, something you just haven't thought of yet.
It's all about opening your eyes to those possibilities, right?
Exactly. And sometimes it takes seeing a story like Fetzer's to realize, hey, if they can make a change like that, maybe I can too.
It all comes down to this,
Yeah.
right? Saving money, saving the planet, it's a win-win.
You got it. And you know what's really interesting about the Fetzer story?
What's that?
They were willing to take a chance, try something new, even if it seemed a little out there at the time. Remember they saw that Ecogate system back in '04?
Yeah, at that trade show.
Right, but it wasn't the right time. It wasn't until they hit that wall with their expansion that they realized, hey, maybe this IS the answer.
Sometimes you need that little push,
Totally. Sometimes you got to experience the problem firsthand to really appreciate the solution.
Necessity is the mother of invention, as they say.
And in this case, that invention, it led to a whole new way of doing business, more efficient, more sustainable. So I guess the question for our listeners is,
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
where can you make a change? It doesn't have to be a woodworking shop. Could be at home, could be how you commute, anything.
Little things add up, right?
Absolutely. The Fetzer story, it's a good reminder. Even small changes, they can make a big difference, especially when we're talking about using less and being more sustainable.
Totally. All right, so to wrap things up today, we learned about green woodworking
The inspiring story of Fetzer Woodworking.
and how something as simple as a dust collection system, well, it can have a huge impact not just on your wallet, but on the environment too.
Exactly. Innovation and sustainability, they go hand in hand.
And hopefully after today's deep dive, our listeners, you're feeling inspired, ready to find your own smarter, greener solutions, because every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
And on that note, we'll say goodbye for today. Until next time, keep exploring those possibilities.